Emem no beat, esquece.
And like always, you've completed your mission.
Like always.
Those words don't come from me. You must know what they say about you here.
No, I don't know. Enlighten me.
Well, you have kind of a reputation. It's actually rather flattering.
I've already told you, you can't trust anyone here. Everyone's working an angle.
I have a hard time seeing how saying nice things about you to me could be construed as manipulation.
It's all tactics to get you to let your guard down, or earn a favor. So, you need to be even more careful.
It's fine. I'm used to it.
Don't listen to gossip. Forge your own opinions.
Don't worry about it.
It's not a natural thing here. It takes some experience.
Mens et manus.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing. It's Latin. My mind wandered for a moment. You didn't tell me what was in those files you gave the prince.
I don't see how that's any of your business.
To make up your own mind about something, the best way is to go to the source. And apparently, Jason Moore is well informed.
I see. You'll have to be patient, Fang.
Do you think your success on the mission could play to our advantage? I mean,
The prince will decide your fate when the time comes. Being useful to her can't hurt. How do you feel about it?
Honestly, I just want to get it over with. Like when you're going into finals.
Even if there's no going back?
It's a little late for that, isn't it?
It is.
Your child, Earl Underwood, did he have any second thoughts?
I don't want to discuss it.
He's your only child, so I wondered how it went. Well, could you enlighten me?
Beryl is very different from you. He always has been. I was blind. It won't happen again. Beryl would have begged me to get what he wanted. Your patience reassures me. I'm making the right choice with you.
You seem to really have a problem with him.
Yes, and that's why you must stay away from him.
This separation between you, what caused it?
Don't dig too far into it. You know this is something I don't discuss.
That's too bad.
I'm not one to beat around the bush, especially on a matter like this. So either be frank with me, or be silent.
I'm sorry, it's just that it's not easy for me.
I'm listening.
Beryl asked me to come by and see him.
Did you?
I didn't think anything bad could happen. I actually thought that...
You ignored what I told you. Don't ever do that again. What did he want with you?
Nothing in particular. He wanted to get to know me. He told me about Seattle, the Camarilla. He was just being nice, that's all.
Beryl isn't nice. He's dangerous. I'm going to have a word with him.
But...
Wait here.
Just one more, and then you can go rest.
All right. Thanks, Ms. Ortiz.
Any news here?
Everyone is stressed out. I've never seen anything like it. They're all talking in hushed voices. They barely dare to look at each other.
People and their moods. I'm not interested in that.
I saw them take one of Jason Moore's bodyguards below. To question him, I imagine. That could be of interest to you. Say, how are things with the girl?
Excuse me.
It's Su Feng, right?
She's not a girl.
Things going okay?
Yes, things are fine.
She seems worried.
Don't worry about her.
Do you think you'll embrace her soon?
As soon as possible, once the prince gives me permission.
You met Fang at MIT, didn't you?
I first discovered her by reading one of her articles.
What did she write?
She studies the blue economy.
To each his own. I don't even know what that means.
It's about hope. A hope of making up for centuries of exploitation.
Since when are you concerned about that?
Since I saw Beryl poison our kind.
Blood or money? I've never embraced anyone.
How come?
The story of my life and my unlife. I have no progeny, mortal or otherwise.
By choice?
Yes and no. When things weren't so strict, I could have asked, but I didn't have anyone in mind. Not like you and Fang. Now it's too late, as I've clearly been made to understand.
Maybe you'll get another chance.
Oh, you mean that after the SI's done with us, our overpopulation problem will be solved?
I didn't mean it like that.
But still. Be that as it may, I hope the prince will allow you to do it.
I don't know.
I hope last night isn't weighing on you too heavily.
I'm all right.
The prince won't base her decision on just that. You've already proven your worth, Mr. Pizzori.
We'll see about that. I'd better be going.
See you.
A message from Caius. Need you downstairs. Urgent issue. Bad timing. I'm going to have to choose. Help Caius or speak with Beryl.
We're still waiting on the list of everything you want to keep.
You'll excuse me if I have more pressing matters to attend to first.
Of course, but
Miss Bosley asked me to.
I'll be back later.
Sorry, Mr. Pizzori. Miss Jory's quarters are off limits.
What's going on here?
Mr. Lito's orders. We've got to clean up.
You do know it's risky to come in here like that, don't you?
You've got nothing to fear. This is the prince's house.
Don't be stupid. You know very well the minute your back is turned, anyone can come poking around here.
If you take me for a thief, you're sadly mistaken.
No, we're here for a courtesy visit. It's to your credit. I was thinking of snoops who are able to disguise themselves.
I see.
What brings you here?
I thought things between you and the prince had gotten better.
She stopped treating me like a goddamn traitor. That's a start. And given the situation, we really need to hit pause on all our internal disputes, don't you think?
Any idea what we should do now?
The most urgent priority is to make sure we are safe.
We're working on it.
Obviously. Then we can think about long-term solutions. We might need to go into exile for a while.
And where would we go?
I'm guessing we'd all go wherever we feel like.
Let's hope we won't have to take such extreme measures.
I'm sure we still have a chance. That's why I'm still here.
Are you seriously ready to abandon us?
I'm not proud of it. But yeah,
Well, I'll leave you to your business then.
if you see the prince, reassure her that my loyalty is intact.
She'll judge you by your actions, as will we all.
Goodbye, Caleb.
I've seen princes come and go. In the end, it always comes down to a struggle for power between the prince and their primogen. Hazel is strong, but will she last much longer?
Caleb, I was wondering when I'd run into you.
Victoria, what a surprise. I didn't know you had decided to walk among us.
I'm always where you'd least expect me. It feels like I've been away for ages. Boston has changed so much. The only thing that hasn't changed is your steadfast presence at court.
Is that a problem?
You know it's not. I'm just surprised, that's all.
There's a whole world outside this city, you know?
I'll serve our family as long as it needs me.
You are a reassuring presence. I must admit I was a bit surprised not to find Quentin King in charge.
Quentin gave in to the beckoning 4 years ago. Ms. Iverson runs Boston now.
How droll. I never thought King would give up his precious crown. He was so attached to it. Iverson is lucky she can count on your loyalty. You're a valuable resource, Caleb, especially in times like these.
I'm only doing my duty.
Ever the cheerful one.
I hadn't heard you were coming to Boston.
Indeed. I wouldn't be stuck in this tower if I hadn't gotten wind of your arrangement with Hartford.
Well, isn't that a shame?
It's not been a complete waste. I met your prince, and I got to see a few old friends. I just hope it's not at the cost of my unlife.
You don't seem to be hurt. I take it you weren't at the party last night.
Heavens no. I was in your prince's personal suite. We hadn't even left yet when the Code Red was initiated.
Good timing.
Good timing indeed. When I think that the Second Inquisition's butchers were lying in wait, I'd shiver. If I could.
So many elders are gone, and yet here you are. How's it possible?
Because I want to. That's all. I enjoy my existence. Why give it up?
But you must also feel that force. The insistent calling, night after night.
Yes, but unlike so many others, I have a reason to resist.
Don't you?
Not anymore. I've resisted for too long already.
And yet, here you are.
I'll leave once this crisis is over.
Aren't you afraid of the unknown? You know what you're giving up, but not what you're getting in return.
It's not a game.
You didn't answer my question.
You'll have to make do with that.
I remember your sire, Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
I didn't see him at court. I remember he was very popular back in the day.
He left with all the others.
Oh,
I know the two of you were very close. His absence must have left quite the void.
The first few years were hard. I had a lot of respect for the man. His departure was like a betrayal to me. He left me alone, in charge of a city without a prince, surrounded by neonates. It was unfair.
I understand. You deserve better than that.
Not just me. The whole court fell apart when the Ancilli disappeared one by one. Building it back up was an ordeal.
But you did it, and you should be proud of what you've accomplished.
Pride is for the ambitious. I'm just doing my duty.
As always.
My obligations to Hazel kept me away from the court last night. Did I miss anything important?
No, nothing much.
I ran into Burrell. He was with your charming little protege.
I don't like the sound of that. Did you hear their conversation?
That would have been very impolite of me.
You've met Beryl. You and I both know he's as slippery as an eel. But Fang hasn't experienced it yet.
You hold your firstborn in particular esteem.
Beryl is who he is. And I'd like to keep Fang far away from his poison. So I'll ask you again. Did you hear their conversation?
Ugh. No, Caleb, I didn't hear anything. Do you want to hear me say it a third time?
That won't be necessary.
Finally!
Good evening.
Goodbye, Caleb.
Caleb, you don't come here often. Sorry, things are a little hectic here.
As you can see.
What's going on?
Code Red. We're destroying all of our files.
Following protocol.
You're destroying all our files?
No, not everything. Obviously.
Some information needs to be saved.
The rest will be a treasure trove for anyone who wants to harm us. That's what's got to disappear. It's a huge undertaking. And of course, Hazel's putting major pressure on me. She's normally a little high-strung, but you can imagine how much worse it's become.
It's her job. She's trying to keep us from going down with the ship, no matter the cost.
I agree. And you know how much I love Hazel. But it's starting to get hard to manage. My efficiency might be the stuff of legend, but even I make mistakes. How about you? Is everything all right?
After last night, who could say that?
I mean, you know, your condition.
My condition?
You know, you're the eldest among us now.
Are you worried about me, or the void I'll leave behind?
You're an essential asset for the Camarilla. You disappearing now would be one of the worst possible things that can happen to us.
It's true that reliability is a virtue in decline.
Don't leave us. That's all. For Hazel's sake.
I've got my own reasons to stay.
I was wondering, what is it like? Do you hear voices?
Does it come at you all at once?
It's more like a feeling. A light one at first. Then it grows and grows till it becomes unbearable.
It doesn't look so unbearable for you.
I'm hanging on, but you shouldn't worry about it. You're still very young.
Listen to us. Talking about growing old, like mortals do.
What's wrong?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just the Second Inquisition attack.
You're the only person here who doesn't seem fazed by it. London seems so far away.
Now they're here. They're destroying the people we know. I really need to get back to work.
Good luck.
We're waiting for Mr. Leto's signal. Until then, if you have any questions...
I want to report on his activities pronto.
Great.
I don't like the sound of that at all.
You wanted to see me?
Happy to see you. Oh, there you are. Follow me, please. We'll speak in private. I said in private. Come on.
You wanted to see me?
Happy to see you, Caleb. We don't usually let anybody down here, but I can bend the rules for you.
To what do I owe this honor?
I need you. Something's come up. On the night of the attack, someone sent a message to an unauthorized recipient.
Do you know who it was?
Not now, but I will soon enough. Otherwise, the prince will have my head. Caleb, I need your help. I get the feeling that it's all connected. It's too huge to be a coincidence.
Do you suspect anyone in particular?
Jara Drory.
What you're telling me is extremely serious. I hope you have proof.
If I did, do you think I'd be asking for your help? But I wouldn't accuse her unless I had serious doubts. Think it through carefully. For starters, she's one of the few who knows how the system works.
She'd be able to cover her tracks, wouldn't she?
Maybe. But maybe she made a mistake.
I don't know. Jara has most likely been destroyed by now.
Do you have any evidence supporting what you're suggesting? Anyways, nothing concrete. Just a hunch, if you want to call it that. In my place, under the current circumstances, I can't really go poking my nose in her business.
And I can.
Nobody will bother you. I'm not asking for much. Just take a look in Jara's room to see if you can find anything that ties her to any of this. And if you could do it quickly.
Why?
Because I'm about to erase a ton of data. It's the Code Red protocol. And since Jara vanished, the prince wants her personal data to disappear along with her. That doesn't give us much time. You in?
I could maybe go and take a look around.
Great. I found a key to her room. Take it.
Thanks.
It's our last chance to recover the data from Jara Drory's computer before everything disappears for good. Just insert this thumb drive and it will download everything I need. If she betrayed us, I'll know.
Fine. I'll go see what I can find.
Thanks. One last thing.
Uh-huh.
If you could keep this just between you and me.
Fine.
And don't come back to see me here. It's supposed to be sealed. It'll look suspicious. I'll send in an engineer after you. Give him the drive when you're done, but don't tell him anything. We have to keep this between us.
As you wish.
Caleb, our secret agent is back already.
The soldier is on furlough.
Not for long, I'm afraid. The prince will undoubtedly have some new task for me.
At least she trusts you. She hardly speaks to her primogen. Even Beryl is in the dark.
He's not used to that. It'll be good for him. I heard you were doing business with him.
It's something to do with the Rosemont Society, my foundation. Why?
I'm afraid that in the current situation, it could create confusion. I just want to get things straight.
What are you insinuating?
Don't play innocent with me.
You sound like an inquisitor. All I can tell you is that Beryl's really the one who is in charge of it. Are you still not talking?
You could say that.
Any regrets?
I don't see why I would have any regrets.
That's no surprise. Personally, I find that giving a child so much power is dangerous. The problem is that you have to watch them all the time. Otherwise, they end up making a mess of things.
But trying to influence them is pointless.
You must be subtle about it, that's all. I give Emem just enough freedom so that she doesn't completely hate me. But I know exactly how to make her do whatever I want. Do you really think you'll have time to embrace Fang?
What do you mean?
Well, with all the elders gone, who knows who'll be next?
That's not something I'm willing to discuss with you.
Suit yourself.
No, excuse me, I have to go.
Of course.
Let's see if Caius was right. That should take less than a minute. Jara has always been wary of new technology. Jara always was old-fashioned. Whatever's in this box must be important. I hope Caius will be able to use what's on this thumb drive.
Hello, Mr. Missouri.
Mr. Leto asked me to wait until you were done. He also told me you'd have something for me.
Here it is. Give it to him, and him alone.
And don't ask any questions. I get it. Are you done here?
You may proceed.
Thanks.
Jara was onto something before she disappeared. There's something very worrying about that. Hazel is probably ready to see me now. I won't make her wait.
The prince is ready to see you now.
Great.
Caleb,
My prince.
we were expecting you.
How may I be of service to you this time?
One thing at a time. The situation has changed. The money is gone. The accounts have been emptied.
What? That's impossible.
Only Jason Moore could have transferred the money. The situation is dire.
Moore would never have done it on his own. He would never have dared.
I agree. It's much too bold a move for him. And that's what concerns me the most.
Someone used him to attack us. Someone who was extremely well prepared.
It might be one of our own.
That's what I think.
It's the most plausible explanation.
If there's a traitor among us, I'll have their head.
One thing at a time. I'll take care of the traitor, personally. Failure is a luxury we will soon be unable to afford. If you have nothing more to say, we can move on to the reason I sent for you.
What did you think about Richard Dunham's file?
Money that should be going to me seems to go missing whenever he touches it. Richard is far too important to me. I can't afford to upset him now. But if his research doesn't pay off soon, I won't hesitate to show him my disappointment.
Did you read Jara Jory's file?
I wish I'd never seen it.
There's too much I despise in it.
She never mentioned she was monitoring the Primogen's finances.
But she's not here to shed any light on it. I'm listening.
I've asked for your presence here because I have a new mission for you. Delson was able to track down the men who attacked us.
It wasn't easy, but it was impossible for them to disappear without leaving a trace after what they did yesterday.
Where are they hiding?
Long Island.
Yes, of course. An abandoned facility just off the coast. An old fort. It's the ideal place for a secret base.
And certainly much more. Who knows what they're up to out there?
How is it you didn't notice a thing?
They have abundant resources, and we're short on eyes.
It doesn't matter. We'll find the people responsible for the situation later. Our most pressing issue is preventing them from striking us again.
How?
You're going to go there and kill their leader.
Sending me there. That seems to be a rather bold choice.
I don't see anyone better for the job.
Infiltration isn't really my specialty.
You'll be dealing with Kine. You'll be a fox in a henhouse. I'm not worried about you. And Delson knows how to get you in.
Oh, that changes everything.
They evacuated the bodies from the site of the party, which is how we were able to pick up their trail.
There's a small, nondescript warehouse at Jeffrey's Point. As far as we can tell, their transfers from Boston to Long Island are made by boat. To avoid drawing attention to themselves, they've chosen to employ only small craft. There are bodies packed in the warehouse waiting to be shipped over. Do you get the picture?
You want me to disguise myself as a body to be evacuated?
Exactly. All you have to do is stop simulating your vital functions for a few hours.
It's risky.
It's risky, but it's now or never. We might never get another opportunity. We have to try.
The last transfer is probably going to take place tonight. After that, there's no way of knowing when we'll get another chance.
I need to know the details.
Let us worry about getting you into the warehouse. We've made all the preparations. You won't have to worry about a thing until you get to Long Island.
We know where they are. Why go through their warehouse?
Charging into Long Island blind would be far too risky.
And with a traitor in our midst, I'd rather keep this to a small circle of trusted people to avoid any other unpleasant surprises.
And after that?
Once you're on the island, you'll be in uncharted territory. You'll be on your own.
Who is my target?
Walter Stanford.
He's the head of the Boston Task Force. He's part of what they call the Society of Leopold.
Someone else will take his place.
No need for you to worry about that for the time being. Your mission is to eliminate Stanford, and that's all.
Aren't you worried someone will tip off the SI?
There's still a traitor among us.
The traitor's my department. You need to strike quickly, and don't let anyone know of your plans. We can't take the slightest risk.
I don't wish to be the bearer of ill tidings, but what if I fail? Do you have a backup plan?
Caleb, you won't fail. You're our only hope. We place all our trust in you to complete this essential mission.
There's no room for error, Bazori.
What's the Vatican getting out of all this?
Your guess is as good as mine. But it seems that the kind are trying to get a better understanding of us in order to hunt us more effectively. These priests have been our enemies for ages. They have knowledge.
Putting an end to them is crucial. We must keep our enemies from unifying their strength.
What do we know about this Stanford?
Not much. They're very careful. He was sent from the Vatican, and he brought other fanatics with him. If he's here, it means that Rome has faith in him, and that can't be good for us.
He's got to be taken out.
All right. I've heard enough.
Very well. Then you should get going. We've already lost enough time.
Very well.
My prince.
I'm guessing you tipped Bazori off to the traitor?
Yes.
Any news?
Nothing since Richard's report. My city is in danger. Everything I've built, all the dreams I've invested. That Judas is a threat to everything.
Not for long. You'll bounce back.
Yes. Congratulations on your negotiations with the Chantry. Our agreement with Hartford is crucial.
Your wish is my command.
I always knew I could count on you. You're a true ally, a loyal one, a future asset in my primogen. But one thing at a time. Before we get there, I have another favor to ask of you.
What a surprise.
About what I told you earlier concerning Delson and Long Island. I've got a plan.
Oh, I know that look. Hazel.
This is the best moment to strike.
That sounds like the definition of rushing into things.
Yes, but we have no choice. Delson?
We need to blind them, from the inside. They know too much about it. We have to change that. For that, we need someone to hit them with a surprise attack from within their compound.
I wish that person luck.
It's you.
That's way out of my league.
Hazel's not asking for your opinion. You proved you were reliable with Hartford. We need your skill sets for such a risky and vital task.
That's precisely what's got me on edge.
It's your chance to prove to the court once and for all that you deserve a place on the council, Emem.
After this, you'll be untouchable.
I sure hope so. All right. How do I get on this island? By boat?
I doubt it. Coastline's under surveillance.
So I swim across. All right. What then?
Kai's wrote a program that can help us. If you can upload it into their system, it'll corrupt all the data they've got in their database. Their systems, the archives, it'll all be lost.
Allowing us to cover our tracks.
It's our best shot at making it through this. You'll just have to insert it into a computer that's on their network. That's absolutely essential. Any questions?
Am I allowed to take a partner? I'd feel a lot better about this if I had someone covering my back.
I understand, but that's not possible. We're already taking a risk by sending a person in to infiltrate their hideout.
Got it. Your plan sounds pretty old school. There's no way to do that remotely?
We've tried, but Leto's agents weren't able to breach their security. Their network's too highly protected. That's why we need you.
I see. So, let me get this straight. You want me to infiltrate the enemy base alone? The same enemies who just slaughtered half the camp.
Quit whining. You can have help.
Oh, really?
Your task will not be easy. You'll need a diversion while you sabotage their system. A raid near their base, for example.
That could work. Who will you send?
I refuse to sacrifice any more of our people. So we might as well send in the riffraff.
The Anarchs could do the job.
Come again?
You heard me. I want you to go see them and convince them to go with you to Long Island.
You're trying to thin their herd.
I'm balancing the scales, that's all.
They can't stand us. They'll never agree to fight for us. Let alone on their own without us.
They don't have to know they'll be alone.
Lead them to believe our forces will join up with them. The SI is a threat to the entire city.
They're just as concerned as we are.
Send someone else to negotiate. A real emissary.
No one else knows the Anarchs as well as you do. They go to your clubs, don't they? They know who you are. They know they can trust you.
I barely know them. I see a couple of them once in a while, but that's it. We're not exactly friends.
You're still in the best
Position to negotiate with them.
Yeah. I'm not comfortable with the idea of sending them to be slaughtered. It's despicable.
It's just politics, and it's probably your only chance to come back in one piece.
What if I refuse?
I won't let you.
Your conscience is of no concern to me. The only thing that matters is our survival.
And too bad if it keeps you up at night.
The true face of the Camarilla. Right then. Let's say I agree.
You don't have a choice, but I'll humor you.
How am I supposed to go about it? I can't just go chasing down every Anarch I know to ask for their help.
There's only one Anarch that counts. Their Baron.
Randall Thane?
That's right. He's in charge of the various Anarch gangs in the region. I don't know where he is right now. You'll need to use your network.
I've got an idea of who I can ask. What can I use as leverage if they try to negotiate?
Money, favors. Offer them whatever seems useful.
All right.
One more thing.
Don't tell anyone about your task. not even your sire. I don't want the council poking their noses into this. That will be all.
I'm counting on you, Emem. Be careful.
And good luck.
I'm gonna need it.
Emem,
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
there you are. I'm sorry I wasn't here to meet you when you got back. I was busy.
No worries.
I heard your little adventure with our guests was quite the success. Congratulations.
Thanks.
I was just about to go grab a bite. Join me?
Is that a question or an order?
Let's say it's a strong recommendation, one you can't really refuse.
That's what it sounded like. Please.
Lead the way.
Very well.
Is there something in particular you wanted to talk to me about?
Can't I simply offer you a drink without you reading something into it?
No.
All right, fine. Your new mission has been giving me pause to think.
I'm sorry, but I can't talk about it. Hazel made that exceedingly clear.
If she thinks things are better like that, I believe her.
For God's sake, Emem, I'm your sire. You should trust me, not that snake in the grass.
Personally, I've never had anything bad to say about Hazel.
Unlike me. Is that it? You'd be singing a different tune if you knew what I know.
If I knew what?
Nothing. You wouldn't believe me anyways.
Fine. I'll just make your life miserable until you spill the beans.
Seriously?
You know how stubborn I can be when I want something.
Hazel's a smart woman. She knows what she needs to do to get what she wants. And she wants you.
That's going too far.
You think it's an honor, but you should really be worried. Hazel never does anything she's not sure she'll benefit from, which means she's got ways to make you bend to her will. She's careful to hide her secrets from you, safe behind her herald. Tonight could be your last chance to discover them. Very well, let's move on.
I wanted to ask you about something a little weird, if you've got a couple minutes.
I'm all ears. Is something wrong?
When I went to see the Tremere, I fell into a kind of memory trap.
What?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Long story short, I lost some memories. Well, memory fragments. I think I recovered some of them, but I'm not sure. I saw our breakup again.
Oh, wonderful.
It was like I was reliving the whole thing, but from the outside looking in.
Did you see anything else?
I saw my embrace.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was weird. We were so happy back then. I was, at least.
So was I.
Yeah. Remember the night we learned about France's surrender in 1940?
Vaguely. Why?
I heard his speech on the radio. We were in Bordeaux.
Wow. You sure have a knack for remembering the happier memories.
I didn't get to decide. They were there. That's all. I saw the night I was attacked. The blood bond. I heard their voices again. Their laughter.
Ma'am.
How could you ask me to stay quiet about it? I was in so much pain.
I never asked you to stay quiet. I only told you to be careful, not to rush into things.
At first, I know. Ugh. Tell me, did I listen to you in the end?
You don't remember what happened after?
No. My memory is all blank after our breakup.
Osborne told me it was normal. It's one of the side effects of their blasted trap. Can you tell me more about it?
It's a long story, Mem, and it's not really a happy one.
That's all the more reason. I want to know what happened. It's my memory. It's not some game.
Exactly. I don't want to see you suffer again. I won't allow it.
But it's not your choice. It's not you we're talking about. It's me. I can't just sit here not knowing.
I won't tell you a thing.
Hilda, please.
I said no. There's no point in insisting.
Fine. Whatever you want. That's all.
I'm sorry you had to go through that again. I can't imagine how traumatizing it must have been. It's never good to go stirring up the past.
Yeah, no kidding.
Thanks for sharing with me.
The reports from Richard and Leisha are truly frightening.
I never thought I'd see a day like this.
Predators never see themselves as prey. We're going to have to be extremely cautious if we want to survive.
Do you have any plans?
No, I'm waiting for Hazel's orders. We're dependent on her now more than ever.
I can imagine you waiting for the prince to do something.
But here I am, doing just that.
No, you've always got a plan B. You're not telling me everything.
Unfortunately, no. It's all happening so fast. I haven't had time to plan anything.
I have a hard time believing that. Suit yourself. Keep your secrets.
You sure seem ticked at the prince.
We've got different political views, that's all. It's rather healthy, actually. There's nothing worse than a council that's enthralled to its prince.
That I can believe. But it seemed like there was something else. What?
Nothing more than what I just told you. You're imagining things.
If you say so.
I gotta go. I've got stuff to do.
Just a sec. I know Hazel told you not to talk about it. But please, at least tell me where you're headed.
You're unbelievable.
The air is thick in here. You can understand my concern, can't you?
I'm going to see the Anarchs.
What? It's a long story. I'll explain when I get back. I've really gotta go.
All right. Be careful, Mem.
Hey, Sylvia.
Hey, how are things? Let me know if you need anything.
Alcohol. Ugh. I always hated that smell.
I'm sorry, you can't go in there.
Do you think we have time to
better hurry.
these around? You need to be faster.
If Zeus had chosen Flower to reign over all others, the Rose would be queen.
leg.
A direct route to the prince's apartments. April plays the guard dog. The swan's nest. I hope it's worth it. I didn't know Hazel was into music. There are faint marks on the wall. I've always found swans very moving. They're beautiful, but full of melancholy. It's a nice symbol. I understand better now why Dijon never mentioned his sire. Hazel's always one step ahead. I should go. It's gonna be a long night. Not just yet. First, the Emmericks. But I have to find them first.